Total carnage! I'd buy that for $1. No way! 10 seconds! Big prizes!
finally here, don't worry. Promise, everybody. Doing a little tech editing on my side. We got some Smash TV sound effects in the background ready to go. I just got off with Tim. We'll talk about stuff. A new hat you guys will get to see. And let's talk about what we're going to be doing here. Hi to those who are here in chat already, everyone. Hoodoo? Hello. And then let's hit the ZFP intro and we'll kick this bitch off. Hey everybody, how's it going? You can see we have lovely big money, big prizes. I love it. For those who don't know, we are going to go over Xcrawl today. We're going to make characters. We dug through the interwebs. I found a character sheet made by a fan. Xcrawl has been out for a long time. We're going to go a little over the history as we go through this. We're going to do one recording today. We're going to make characters using the new Xcrawl Classics. For those who don't know, picked this up at Gen Con. This was technically a Kickstarter only, but they had other versions of it around. You see the music's real loud. They had other versions of this around for people to buy. So I'm super excited that this is something I can get my hands on. Front and back, I showed it on our show yesterday. Showed the dice off. I have a cam here, which you can kind of probably see a little bit here. It's a little shaky because the mount to the wall didn't work. We'll find something later for it. And we're going to build characters today for Xcrawl Classics. So for those who don't know, we're going to be doing a little bit of a history lesson. I'm a big fan of a few things. I'm a big fan of Smash TV. If you don't know what Smash TV was a video game in the, I want to say 80s or 90s, 90s, in the 90s, and it blew up as a top-down twin, would be now considered a twin-stick shooter, and people could shoot their way to victory and win money. It was really cool. With that, ooh, I just see that this is not turned enough. That's better. Ooh, where's that light go? Is it this one? It's this light. Done. With that, there is a ton of different options to build in this game, and Xcrawl came around much later. So let's go over the information board. We're going to go over the rundown for it before I start recording anything. This is just the live section of it, and we'll see what we have to offer. So Smash TV is a big game back in the day. It was in the arcades. It was 1990 arcade video game created by Eugene Jarvis and Max Turnell. Turnell? Let's do the thing that matters most. Zoom this bitch in. Get those side pieces out of here. But it was a twin stick shooter, 19 areas, Robotron 2084, if those remember what that is. I feel like I had Robotron back in the day on Intellivision. It seems right to me. Does Does anyone remember Robotron on television? I feel like that was a thing. That seems right to me. Alexa, turn the light off. No, Alexa, upstairs light off. Alexa likes to turn the office light on in the middle of the stream. Alexa, office light off. And then she'll do it again, even though I've reset it 100 times. I got a new hat from Danny Grimes from Delving Wood. They are Velcro wooden letters on here. I'm going to paint these things bright gold so you can see them and gloss them and burnish them up. But Smash TV. Genesis did a Game Gear version, which is Super Smash TV. And this was kind of what you were looking at. This was this top-down retro shooter with 4 ways to exit on each one. It was an extremely difficult game. I don't think most people knew how to get through it. It was hard. It was a real hard game. It is a new hat. And then they developed it, did stuff. Hasbro pulled a plug on the interactive movie project it was working on and went to Williams Design a coin-op games and then moved to Chicago. So this guy, I know. He's been around for a long time because he was in Mortal Kombat, NetherRealms, and we all know a series along with Ed Boon. But he was a comic book artist and graphic designer. Awesome guy. I've met him countless times at conventions. And that's how the first coin-op Smash TV came into existence. So, once again, I just want to point out, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast shit the bed again. In case anyone missed that, I know it was before Wizards of the Coast being owned by Hasbro, but when Hasbro joined, that's when Wizards of the Coast started getting shitty. And this is the prime example of why. Who knew? Writing was on the wall. So, that's the lowdown of Smash TV. We get to Xcrawl. And Xcrawl is a very different style game. So let's talk a little bit about Xcrawl, and we'll pull some data up for all of you guys to see it. Xcrawl has been around since, I want to say 3.0 was the first time we saw Xcrawl. First edition. Let's take a look here. Xcrawl first edition. And this was the Extreme Dungeon. And this was the first Xcrawl. See if I can get the pop. I won't pop up. So the first version, this is Noble Knight Games. If you don't know who Noble Knight is, Noble Knight you can buy pretty much anything your heart desires in tabletop if you're willing to pay the price. I have an Xcrawl in the basement somewhere. And the concept is you have a team of people who go in and they survive in like a Running Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger style, or Smash TV style. You survive big money, big prizes, and you come out on top and you get gear and swag and all these other things. And it, honestly, for me, it was a big inspiration for Warpaint. The concept of robot jocks. See, look, the light came back on, everybody. Alexa, office light off. Hates me. It was a big kind of inspiration for not only how I did the PR section and the press junkets for Warpaint, it was just a big part of my idea of like interactive events for tabletop. You guys, Van Rear is here is what Strength just said in our chat. Can I turn it more? Did I get rid of it? Yeah, that's in Discord for those who don't know. He is Voss from season 1 and Regder for the new one. But it's true, like I think Smash TV is more of an inspiration to my GMing style than I am. And I'm gonna say this now, we didn't play the original Xcrawl Classics. Xcrawl wasn't on my radar. I think I played one game of the first Xcrawl. I'm pretty sure. So let's take a look at the history of Xcrawl. I don't think it was Xcrawl Classics. I think it was Xcrawl 3.0. But we're going to go to Goodman Games. And we're going to take a look at the world of Xcrawl. So Goodman Games is publishing currently. They just had their Kickstarter for their latest version. This is the world of Xcrawl. Ancient Rome meets Smash TV meets gangster rap. What the fuck? That's from EN World Forum posting member. Very true. This is how Xcrawl feels. I love this concept of a gonzo game. I think it makes great streaming. I think that while I am a Call of Cthulhu deep discovery, deep like investigation for games, I feel like the gonzo games are kind of my jam. Always enjoyed them. Those who have watched my first season of Fenrir was highly influenced by the gonzo nature of Xcrawl and the gonzo nature of Smash TV and reality TV shows. Nick at Night, not Nick at Night, sorry. You Can't Do That on Television. What else that was a big inspiration that I could say for Fenrir? Max Headroom, those kind of things. And this is that. This game here is an exact example of playing that kind of game. So that's their thing. Xcrawl is a blend of unexpected genre elements combined to create a highly original, offbeat adventure. A game that combines strategic dungeon crawl action in a harsh dystopic setting, an absolute authoritarianism of rigid class conflict with a quirky alternate modern history. It's a carnival mirror view of a strange world we live in. So it's got a little bit of the 2000 AD vibe where the satire is rich, and you'll see that when we flip through the book and we make characters. There's a lot of key elements in the world, from the game to the Empire, North American Empire, and NAE. Fame for celebrities because you're playing a celebrity. Religion because it's all the Olympic pantheons ruled by a mighty Jupiter and all of Juno. They're kind of like the overseeing feel. I think that, what is the name of that movie that, not Maze Runner. What's the one that everyone watches where it's like the games? It's not Squid Games. Not Mockingbird. Fuck is it called? Someone will figure it out. It's that kind of set piece. They've made a ton of them. The fuck is the name of that TV series or movie series? You don't remember? I don't remember. I'm trying to remember, but I don't. It's not Mockingbird. God, it'll come to me. But anyway, this has that feel of the Olympic Games and the gladiatorial style arenas. Creepy, crazy, Mad Magazine art. If you remember the old Mad Magazine, this kind of has that Mad Magazine feel. There are city-states and corruption. And this is just the world preview from Goodman Games. And I'll say, Starship Troopers. Yeah, maybe a little bit. This is Goodman Games overview of Xcrawl. And I think it does a pretty good job of justifying what you're about to play. So, to fast forward to now, Xcrawl has been, I think, 3.0. Let's see how many versions were printed, shall we? How many versions have been made? What's up, Raven? So first it was Dungeons & Dragons, it was 3.0. Dungeons & Dragons and D20 Star Wars, which I remember. That was the concept of when it started. And then they started the Xcrawl Classics Kickstarter. And this was their Kickstarter they did. They had 236,000. And in my backpack, yesterday, I showed off the dice set. So Xcrawl, if you play Dungeon Crawl Classics or Mutant Crawl Classics, you know that Goodman Games is using kind of a different thing. Like when 5e became popular and they were doing advantage and disadvantage everywhere under the sun, and it is still carried because it's a elegantly simple introductory system. They made this. This is Dungeon Crawl Classics. This is one of their dice sets. They're a little more pricey, but that's because you're getting all of these dice. I know some of them look weird, and that's because you're going from, there's 14 dice instead of our polyhedral 7. And you have all the normal set that you would normally have, the D4 to the D20, but you're also getting a D3, a D5, a D7, a D14, 16, D24, and a D30. The reason that they do this is when you get plus and minuses in this game, before we start making characters, Plus and minuses means you are going up and down dice steps. So if you were at a D3 and you get a +1, you go to a D4. And this works from rolling your dice to hit, AC, saves, to damage. So it's a step game. Hunger Games. Thank you. Yes, Raven. That is what I was trying to remember. The one that is similar to this, Smash TV, and it is Hunger Games. How I did not remember that it was Hunger Games is killing me. But yes, that is it. Thank you very much. Throat's still a little shot from the trip, by the way. So this is their video for it. We're going to watch this. Turn off our music. Should be. Oh, you guys are audio. And this was their kind of like what we're getting. So you know what Xcrawl is. I want you to see this. I love the static change underneath the logo, showing the like additions and the iterations of Dungeon Crawl Classics. Or sorry, Xcrawl Classics. But now Xcrawl Classics. Merch, swag, all the things that you expect to happen when you are a famous person in sports. They obviously changed the look to this black and red style collectors. All the art, Mad TV, old comics, Mad Magazine, a little bit of heavy metal inspiration. And they're bringing it to the Dungeon Crawl Classic, rule set, which is this, mixed with like Pathfinder and D&D. So Goodman Games has been around for a while. They exploded over the OGL. This is the kind of stuff we're getting into. Notice there's like thumbs up on the page. You're getting voted as a better fucking character when you're playing. It just, instead of like losing and feel bad about it in this, you die and you're like, next character, let's go. And the Smash TV voices come out and everything's good to go.
Total carnage!
This is the stuff you expect while you're playing. Total carnage. They even, like Dungeon Crawl Classics, have level 0 gauntlets, but they have it for Xcrawl. And they specifically say you're like high school students doing it, which to me is wild, but hey man, if you're still worshiping Greek and Roman pantheons, why not? So this is the thing we're looking at when we are going through the idea of making Xcrawl Classic stuff. Very simple, very clean. The rules are easy, which you'll see when we go to make stuff. They explain Xcrawl Classics. If anyone wants to look through the Kickstarter, while the Kickstarter's done, there is some good information on here. If you want to see the chaos for it, I just put that there. There are some new rules. So full rules for combat, complete magic system with 76 spells. Spells in Dungeon Crawl are very different than 5e. You roll on a table to determine like how effective your spells are. So very different concept. Specialized rules for fame, mojo, and wealth to bring Xcrawl to life. So instead of having gold tokens, you're playing to the fame of the crowd, right? You're playing to the idea that people love you because of the sport you fucking play, the position you play within. And the classes solidify that concept of my first read through. 2 complete introductory dungeons, because, look, let's be real. If you are a GM running this, most people have no idea how the fuck you're going to make a crazy ass Smash TV meets Hunger Games tabletop RPG that's fantasy and sci-fi inspiration. Like, when those two things meet, unless you have an AI generator, you don't know what the baby is. So they give you 2 adventures to do, and they're solid adventures. I personally think there's a lot of crazy things you can do once you realize what this game does. You lean into the idea of pop culture around you, and you make this. Like, I'm going to do a horror-based one, right? Because I love horror. Slaughterhouse, Jason, Michael Myers, Saw, you name it. The Purge. All that's going to get added. Even some old comic booky shit. If anyone played the new To Kill the Justice League, you walk into a, like, I don't want to say cardboard, 2D Gotham. I think that'd make a really good set for one of these games. I think that's fun. But the game itself is made to generate this kind of chaos, like controlled competition chaos. That's what Xcrawl's about. Their Kickstarter nails this to a T. They hit a shit ton of their rewards. I still got to find the judges screen. Stretch goals, they got pretty far in. They unfortunately didn't get the roulette mummy spin apart room or the Sphinx you bet your life game, but these are all crazy versions of Xcrawl. And at Gen Con, they were in the oil stadium and they took up almost all of the field. They had their party van there, which is like this brown old wizard van with the whole Tomb of Horrors mouth on the back of it. The inside's all plush. There's a fucking 8-track in the front. Like, this group gets community. They get it. They get that you're there for an event. You're there to have fun. And they want you to play a game that when you walk away, there are memories, not rules. I don't think anything's wrong with that. A lot of these places, when they have organized play, not community play, I think this is solid in community play. Organized play doesn't feel that way. Organized play feels like when you are playing a game and it is rules specific. Like, I think I should record this. I think this is important. It is important. When you are doing organized play, too many companies want you to feel like the rules make your organized play game better. And they forget that the point of organized play is to build a community of people that are speaking the same love language, which honestly is the game. It's the book. It's the rules. This is the love language of the table. You all speak DCC. You all speak Pathfinder, whatever it is. But a lot of times, the language gets in the way of fun. And if I am live, in person, at a convention, a store, whatever it is, the rules should not impede the entertainment value of what we're playing. If rules are the primary thing you're looking for, tournaments are such a great way to have rules kind of be the common ground between the opposite sides of the table. But when you're playing a tabletop RPG, that's not the case. A tabletop RPG is about a shared space where we're making a story together with rules for combat and skill checks and things that help us answer questions to a world we're not physically in. I feel like Goodman Games, and maybe they'll see this, I feel like they understand. It's about building a community, not a brand around rules and fighting over the rules. They get it. When I walked into that room, 1, the stadium was cold at Gen Con 2024. 2, everyone was laughing and having a riot. And later on, when I was speaking to my friend Tim Hitchcock, he said that when people die, they had to walk up and strike a fucking gong when they died. Like a ceremony, death. And like sometimes there'd be a line of, oh my God, did they get TPK'd? Those are moments that you don't get when you play things like traditional tabletop RPGs, traditional Dungeons and Dragons. You don't get those moments of just insanity, but organized. So to me, when you pick up something like Xcrawl, Dungeon Crawl Classics, and this is coming from someone that I am an outsider looking in. I have never played a single game of Dungeon Crawl Classics. But every friend of mine that watches the shows I run and the games that I run tell me, for conventions, at the very least, you should be running this. I think you would love it. And that brings us to today. Big money, big prizes. Xcrawl Classics. So, let's build some characters. Let me cut us over. I have PDFs up and running. I do not have the PDF for Xcrawl. I've tried. It's just not out yet. They haven't handed it out. I emailed the person I purchased it from at the booth. I just don't have the Xcrawl book or the PDF. I have the book in front of me, and I do have a lot of their pre-gens. So New Year's Eve, they put out pre-gens. We're going to look through these pre-gens. We're going to look through the book itself, and we're going to make a couple characters. We're going to see how quick this goes. And I'm going to have the audience who's here roll some stats. So if people want to start rolling 3d6 for all the stats are different. So let me pull up our PDF. This is our PDF. Those are our stats: strength, agility, stamina, personality, intelligence, and luck. We're going to roll straight down. I'd like to do 2 characters. So if we can get 2 sets of stats over this time frame, we will build out 2 sets of stats for this. I am noticing that we are a little cut off. Why are we cut off? Oh, because I have it over zoomed, because I'm an idiot. This is what it looks like. Okay, very simple. This is the example of an athlete. I do have our PDF set up for a fill out one, form fill. And then I also want to put our pupper cam, because that's the cam I usually use Fiona, in here. And I want to resize it. We are going to line up all the other stuff that we have. So I want to be able to talk about the game. Get the book lined up for us here. Jen, do you want another drink? Okay. How are you doing, buddy? Let's slide this up. Let's move this a little bit. So we want to be able to do a 2-page spread. I'm gonna have to move my mic. I'm sorry if hearing me gets a little more difficult. It honestly shouldn't be that bad. We're gonna move some stuff, slide some things. We'll organize this when I bring it on screen. So let's do pupper cam. Pupper cam. Okay, that's our pupper cam. So that's a pretty good 2-page spread. You guys can see this decently, right? Should I zoom it out a touch? Good, right? Here, we'll slide it this way, tilt it, and then we will write our stat here. Get orange. What do we got so far? I'll write it right here. You guys see that decently? I'll do this. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Slide it, move it. It's zoomed out. I'm gonna zoom it out all the way. Should be able to read this decently. I want you to be able to see this. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna wipe this off while you guys are rolling stats, so that we have a really clean slate for this. Those who don't know, I have a big dry erase desk. I use it for all my notes for the week, sometimes 2 weeks. Wipe this off. It's a little dry erase whiteboard cleaner. Sorry for the shaky cam. Actually, we'll turn off pupper cam for a second, so you don't have to see the shake. Keep rolling. It's 3d6 straight down the line. And I'm going to read you the PC version of. Basically, they tell you should make characters and you should roll it straight down and try it at least once, because nothing's better and nothing's more satisfying than a person with all 6s making it through a crawl. That's like, it's just satisfying. And they're not wrong. They really aren't wrong about it. I think it is very fun to see that happen. I think you should be able to do this. We should be good. So what do we got so far? Let's put the pupper cam back. I feel like I need to make a pupper cam button. So I am constantly turning it on, but I don't want the pupper cam to be too bad. I'm gonna boot this up a little bit. Just past this. I had it almost perfect. I was like on it, actually. Right? That was close. Damn, I think I was better off the first time around. I didn't know that I nailed it. Let me turn it. Let me see how well we see it. I mean, there's some shadows, but it's not bad. Right? Can you guys see this well enough? Do I need to brighten this up some? I can. Oof, that's been bright on my face. How is that? Can you see this decently? Or is it still blurry? It's too difficult to read. Personality definitely took a hit. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of get this lined up in a way. I had this lined up earlier, but I fucked with it, unfortunately. So I zoom in, you can see it pretty well. Right? But I don't want to move it the whole time. So we're gonna do this. I'll kind of go over, I'll tell you what I'm reading, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's go down this list. Let me turn off the cam. We pull up Pupper here. We are going to set up to record the character creation. You just turn Pupper cam. We need to make a scene we want to turn on and off. I'll just put Pupper cam on here. I want to draw on this. Pip cam. And then we're going to go in here. We're going to find Pupper cam. Ooh, that's not right. Oh, no, that is right. That is right. Pupper cam. On and off, right? Shrink this. See if it works. That's not what I want. It zoomed in and cut all of my shit off. I'm an idiot. I did that wrong. We're going to go through the classes. The group is going to decide what class we want to make. We'll look at that we'll flip through them. I'll give you like the brief overview of which each one of these classes do. Because on top of the classes, there is racial classes as well, which is kind of cool. We don't filter. We don't want scene. We want source. That's what I'm looking for. I'm sorry. Pup viz. Pup cam. Pupper cam. Then we want the Brio face cam. Okay. That should work. So, whoop, whoop. There we go. I might even blow this up a little bit. Blow this up a little bit for y'all. It's kind of that. It's about as good as I can get it for y'all. I'll turn this around. I can see it. All right, so what do we have in chat? Let's turn this off. Look at we got STR. Is that what it is? So let's actually, I lied. So we got SASTPIL. All right. So what's our first set? 13. 8. Okay. We're not a shooter. 8. 17. Okay. 4. All right. We are not a gladiator, boys and girls. We're not good at this. An 8. What is our luck? An 8. All right, so that's our first set. If you guys want to work on rolling another set, I'll write it to the other side of this. Okay. So that's what we're working with. So we're going to go back to the character sheet. I'm going to pull up the generic sheet. Okay. And then we will go from there. This is the legacy sheet. They're going to look a little different. So this is, I'll pull this up so you can see it. This is the legacy sheet. Up cam off. This is the legacy. So we're going to go through these. So we're just going to type these in. So it's 13. Ooh, wait, that's a 13. 8. What's the next one? 17. 4. 8. 8. All right. So we're going to start recording here. I know. I'm going to start recording once we pick our class. Once we pick our class, I will start recording. If someone can take the 1, 2, 3, 6 new roles, put them in a line for me at the end after we get our next 6 stats, we'll do that for the second character. Because characters are going to be pretty quick in this, all right? We're doing first level characters. So let's go back to the book. We're going to go over how we build a character. We're going to pick our two... First, we're going to pick our 2 classes, and then I'll start recording so I can have something to put out afterwards, all right? So I'm going to take care of the PDF. We're going to put this up. I'm going to slide this over. You should be able to see almost all of this. So we have athlete, right? Let me zoom this out. I thought I nailed it, but I just didn't. All right. I just want you to be able to see this primarily. Like this, the big bold text. So athlete, this is number 1. Athletes are grapplers. So you know, that's what they're good at. We have the blaster, which is like your run and gun. Blaster is not a spellcasting phenomenon, rather a rise of blasters, a revival of ancient arcane traditions. So think Eldritch, like a warlock. Okay. Just go through. Brawler, melee combat, physical, in your face, swords and boards. And you'll notice, like when we look at the table here, I think this is probably the thing we're gonna be doing the most of. When you look at the table here, just so you understand how this works, there is level 1 to 10, deed, die, and everyone has different ones. So like their deed die, if we look up here, mighty deeds of arms. Xcrawl isn't a dance. Brawling isn't about rigid technique and formula styles. No. The art of the brawl means you are trained to hit absolutely anything with absolutely anything. So this is the bonus die you're going to get to what you get to hit with. And for example, if we go back, you'll notice that the athlete here, instead of that die, they get a scramble bonus to their AC. All right? So there's bonuses to each. So we're going to go back. I'll zoom us back out here. Clean. Enough. Also, Brawler. After Brawler, we have Jammer. This is your Bard. Also, look at this. Look at this art. This art is so fun. It's just fun. We got Jammer. Turn this a little bit. After Jammer, Jammer gets devastating attack. They also have spell casting. And then devastating attack. Let's see what that is. It's out of curiosity. Here we go. Devastating attack. The Jammer's combat prowess and the performance excel merge in their devastating attack. If a Jammer makes a successful melee attack against an opponent while they are disrespected, they add their devastating attack die to the damage, as indicated in the table in 111, the Jammer. To level 1, we're adding a D3. For those who don't know, let's talk dice. Let's talk dice. Sliding this over. We're going to zoom in. Right? We're going to go like this, so you understand the dice before we record. This, sir, is a D30. Okay? 30. After D30 is a D24. Notice they're really rounded. I highly recommend rolling these in trays for those that are not familiar. So you got D24. So I'm going to slide these up. Not that far. You will see them. D24. After D24, you have the classic. I believe it's D20 next. You can see on here it says what it is. It's hard with all black and white. This camera up here would actually be better at this, but I'm not moving it. D20. We all know a D20, traditional polyhedral, right? After the D20, we have 16. So I think this is the 12. I think this is the D16. After the D16 is a D14. That's this one. And they put the lines under them so you know the cap number, because otherwise you'll be digging through. These are for only the weird dice, though. D12. I think after the D12 is the 2D10. Yeah. So you got your percentile. For those who don't know, when you roll these, you roll tens place. And this is the ones place. I'm just going to pull one up to remind everybody. I'm going to start lining up along the side here. And then after D10s, you got D8, which we're all familiar with. This is classic D&D. After the D8 is a D7, which is not classic and very fucking weird. These dice look like they're printed wrong, and they are not. They're just so when you land, when you drop it on a 7, you can read the 7. They're just weird fucking dice. If you're not used to them, they're very weird. Put this back in place. I'm going to kick that. D7 to D6, which we're all familiar with. And I'm doing this because I feel like a lot of people don't know them. Because I didn't know them until I opened it up. You know why? Because I hadn't played DCC, and I still fucking have it. And I'm really excited to do it. Like, this is me telling everybody, like, I want to play this game. I'm willing to take the time to learn this and teach other people. So D6, D7, so D8, D7, D6, D5. I think the D5 is it this one? No, it's this one. So on this one is your 5. Again, when it lands, it's just an oblong, weird land. After the D5, your 4, which we all know. I like these actually a lot. They're easy to pick up. And then this is a D3, because the highest number on is a Roman numeral 3. That's what we're looking at, just so you know. And I'm going to record this part really quick. So we only have a couple of the classes to flip through. So I'm going to start recording now. Start at me. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do for this, for the intro. So if you guys are all ready, I'm going to go to our next song. Pause it. Go to here. Hit record. And we're going to talk DCC and make a character, okay? And for those who are watching this live, this is normal. I do live recordings during this. I record them so I can edit them and put them out later for short form or shorter form. Let's see what we get. It's 3, 2. I should probably drink a little bit. 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody. Welcome to EFP. This is simple. We're talking Dungeon Crawl Classics, but specifically Xcrawl Classics. Kickstarter is done. At Gen Con, I picked up the main book. I'm super excited to play this Smash TV interpretation of tabletop gaming. I'm pumped. There's some weird dice. And I only weird because unless you play things like Dungeon Crawl Classics, you're not going to know what any of these are. So let's take a quick look at the plethora of dice you're going to get. Now, in the book, they do talk about being able to use other dice. But you can see from here, there's a lot. There's a lot of dice here to play. Your 30, your 24, your 20, your 16, your 14, your 12, your percentiles down here, your 8, which you're used to, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, and a 3, which is just a D6 divided into 3 versions. The reason that they have these is when you do things, you step up your dice. They tell you you're a D4 and you step up to a 1, you get a +1, you add this, and you get rid of this, and you go do a 5 now. They tell you step up 2, and you were a 4, you go to a 6, 3, you go to a 7, 4, you go to an 8. You get it. It works for damage, it works for rolls. Sometimes it's not a D20 in this game. As a matter of fact, it becomes a D24 or a D30. Enough of that. We all know the dice. We just talked about it, and that's all that we needed to know. If you want to know more about that, you can learn it in Dungeon Crawl Classics or in Xcrawl, which is what we're looking over today. In the live show, I talked a good amount about what Xcrawl is about. Xcrawl is the new print, the new version from Goodman Games, a group that understands community play more than anyone else, I think, in the tabletop industry. They understand it, they love it, and they make sure that it happens. They have a huge van that shows up with, I don't know if we're allowed to say the name of it, but is the Tomb of Horror face on the back of it? Regardless, they understand what it's about. And this shiny collector's edition is only $10 more than the regular edition. Now, if we were to go over here and look at the website, you can see that you can currently pre-order this book right now. As a matter of fact, you can pre-order it, and you get one of two ways. This for $59, which comes with the PDF. I don't know if it's hyperlinked for all my hyperlink drink fans that are in the live audience right now, but I'm going to guess from other Goodman Game stuff that I own that it is. You can see the description. The link will be down below for this. For the audience, you already know what I'm looking at. You can see it on screen. On top of this, if you want to, there is a collector's edition version of this as well. The one I showed on screen. This is the Xcrawl Classics Collector's Edition book. Little better paper, amazing cover. Back cover is just as sexy as this. And you'll also get your PDF as well. Pretty simple. It's not hard. If you want to know the history of Xcrawl, all I know is that this thing started back in like 3.0, if I remember correctly, has went through a few editions. Their Kickstarter did very well. August of last year, they were going to be, I think, shipping this by the end of August 2024. And right now, when they close this before any backer kit orders, they kind of crushed the game. They did $236,000 for a game that is Smash TV meets Hunger Games, fucked by the old Mad Magazine. If you're not familiar with this game is gonzo, over the top, and made for you to have fun with your friends, surviving in a live action TV show where people sponsor your team and give you money based on the concept that the Greek and Roman gods still exist. Yeah, that's right. You heard me, Zach, if you're watching this. There's a good chance that the god of death is there for you. But in all seriousness, the idea of bringing fantasy gods into a game so that you can continue playing your fantasy needs is pretty amazing. So today, we're going to make at least a character. Maybe I'll make a second one live on stream. So while the audience is here, we're going to dive into this book, look at what we have, shaky cam and all that is here, because I didn't want to set up another one. I'm tired, and I was at Gen Con for a week. So let's take a look at the game itself. I hope you guys enjoy this. I have a PDF ready. It's a little different. So this here is the Legacy PDF, and I will show you that I also have their pre-gens in case you want to kind of see what the pre-gens are. Name, occupation, alignment, player, race, class, title, deity or patron, level, and experience. And everything down from there is the stuff you need to make a game. But to show you what the new version looks like, and I'm really hoping Goodman Games puts this out, it looks like there's some drop-down stuff to pick your stuff, and maybe it auto-fills your stuff based on level. I don't know if that's true, but Goodman, if you're watching, that would be amazing. Because your Purple Wizard app that you have for making zero-level characters, making characters for Dungeon Crawl Classics, was game-changing for not only conventions, but for people who want to teach people the game. So much so, things like Shadowdark have seen other people build very similar things. Shadowdark, Morkborg, Pirateborg, and so on. Please, make this PDF something with drop-down and puts everything in place. I would be happy, and I'm sure the audience that watches this will be happy too. On top of that, we got a little bit to fill out, but it's not crazy. I think we can do this. I got the old pupper cam ready to go. We already started looking through classes. I'm going to flip through the first couple, and then we're going to go from there. So let's just put the cam up over top of this. You're not going to be able to read it all. I don't apologize. It is what it is. My audience already rolled our first stats, which are here. We have 17, an 8, a 7, a 4, a 8, and an 8. For those who don't know, down the list, it is strength here, agility here, stamina here. This is your presence, your intelligence, and your luck. Right now, we just look like we can take a beating. This stat is our beating stat. We take a pounding, right? We're pretty strong, so probably melee, but we're going to look through everything so you can see. They talk about making characters in this game, and they say, and I quote, when you make a character, try rolling 3d6 straight down. You know, be a real gamer, an experienced gamer, and prove that you don't have to have the best ability scores. On page 13 in here, if you're interested. You'll get the PDF, don't worry. So the athlete is awesome. They are a grappler at heart. Every class in this game, from my first, kind of look at everything, I'm gonna slide this up. First look at everything, they all kind of have their own thing that they do. So for example, they are a grappler and there's a size chart that get bonuses. Anytime you step up a die, you are literally going from one die size to another. So for example, if you had a +2, you would go from a D20 to a D30, skipping the D24. Pretty simple. Pluses and minuses don't matter. You're just rolling a die and adding things to it. Next up is a blaster. It sounds to me like this group, from what I'm seeing, seems very similar to a warlock, for those who don't know. And this book as a whole seems to be a combination of 5e meets Goodman Games Dungeon Crawl Classic, and you can see some residual Pathfinder 1 in here for all my Pathfinder 1 fans. So much so, you have your Fort Reflex and Will, which, honestly, Fort Reflex and Will is not a normal thing in 5e, but it makes the saves easier. Your move is built in. Scramble is an AC bonus for your athlete. Training die is extra damage that you do when you're doing things. Your action dice you can do, you always roll a d20 and then you add other dice to it as you go. Very simple, very clean. So the blaster is the other one people were looking at, but we're not really. I think the blaster, if I remember correctly, is much more of a shooter. The blasters are trained with long sword, short spear, club, dagger, crossbow. But as you can see, agility is not our strongest suit, right? And I know people are going to say, what is going on? How do you do your stats? All right, well, good question, I guess. We'll look at our stats. If I scroll back here, also the art in this book is like I said, Mad Magazine to the 9. That's a fucking phone. I got it signed, which was dope. But let's scroll through and let's look at our stats. So the stats are here. Strength is physical power and lifting. You might not be able to read this. I don't apologize. Agility is gymnastics, balance, and movement. Your stamina, which is up here, is your endurance, resistance to pain, disease, poison, and so on. Stamina modifier affects your hit points. Important for this character. I think we're going to be a tank. Personality, charm, strength of will, persuasive talent, and Xcrawl personality is never a dump stat. You're a gladiator trying to convince the crowd to shower you with gifts. If you watch my war paint, it'll make sense. If you don't know what that is, it's lost in Norse Foundry history, and at some point in time, I will ask if I can have it to put it back up. But I can explain it later. Think Robot Jocks meets Kaiju Combat. Intelligence, this is your perception, your ability to discern information, and so on. Luck, right place, right time. Very important. And then you roll your luck score. It does say here, determine a character's luck score. Roll on table 1/2 or -2 birth augur to determine the character's birth augur. We're going to get into that as we build this character. There's a few little extra things opposite of 5e. 5e gives you a background. And honestly, after that, it doesn't really do much. I'll be honest with you again. I don't think 2024 offers much more. Sure as shit, not as much as this. Like, big money, big prizes. Offers way more.
Big money, big prizes.
Way more. Offers way more for you. I'm just saying. Because you know why? I have to do it.
I love it.
I'm just saying. Maybe I'm biased. And I haven't even played this game yet, and I'm biased. I'm gonna end up like not wanting to run. I'm gonna want to run. They have 0-level games similar to Dungeon Crawl Classics or Shadowdark that we talked about on the show. And then we have our Birth Augur, which we're gonna be rolling. And some of these dice are weird. Like, you guys don't have a D24. So I'm going to roll them here if it's a dice we don't have. But then I'll let you roll if it's a dice that we do have on the show, for those who are watching. Occupation is your next thing here. Weapon training, starting equipment, alignment. You roll for your occupation down here. But before we do that, and occupation is a D100. Before we do that, I want to pick our class. We could random it. We could Shadowdark, Weird Wizard, Shadow the Demon Lord randomness. But because stats are important, I think we pick our our class to our stat. So we're going to go through these quickly and look at what makes sense for us. Athlete, very good. I like it. I feel like this fits well for what we're doing. Blaster doesn't make any sense. We're not a fucking warlock build. Yeah, no, we're not a warlock build. Blasters get some spells and blaster die. They do extra damage. This could work. A brawler is on the list. So I'm gonna keep fucking marking this off because I'm using dry erase to the wet erase. I'm gonna put brawler. Good chance. This is not a bad choice for us, right? We have the idea that we can fight and do things. This might not be a bad get up for a high stamina character. You can see they get unarmed damage. They're kind of like the monk of this game. They get unarmed damage. They're good with everything as a weapon. That's the concept of that. Jammer's a bard. I mean, our charisma, our persuasion's a 4. Personality is a 4. Jammer's not going to work. We're going to skip that class. Love the stage, though. Messenger. What is this? You have no idea you were descended from a god. You are ordinarily a citizen of North America, NAE, living your life as best you could. Xcrawl called you. Unholy creatures. I think these are like their... Oh, look at this. You should be praying the Church of Apollo. Oh, praying? Praying. It should be praying too. Should be praying to the Church of Apollo. That's awesome. Unholy creatures, scourges. This is clergy. How about all of you? I don't see clergy in our future. Specialist. Ooh, what's this? Also, I want to point out the gods of Olympus. You can't make this out. Check all these gods of Olympus out. Let's zoom this in for you all. Gods of Olympus. Apollo, Bacchus, Cupid, Discordia, Faunus, Fortuna, Mars, Moria, Neptune, Diana. Is that Furia? God of Justice? Furia? Jupiter, Mercury, Minerva, Sol, Vesta, Vulcan, Ceres, Horeb, Cartes, the 3 graces, Pluto, Trivia, and Venus. These are the gods that they have kind of in here that are built up. Specialist, art for specialist. Apollo guitars. You getting the idea of this game yet? The satire is real. No go door. Xcrawl's 24/7 lethal trap of dungeon services, and you're the only one who seems to have gotten the memo. When you drop the ball, your allies die. So you're a specialist. It looks like there's different specialists. I see acrobat. Not a new class, is it? Oh, these are the different specialists. Acrobat. Commando. Criminal. Commando gets a good weapon training. They get their hit die is increased to a D7. So tankier. We're going to get into some special stuff here, though. Scout. Not only we're a scout. Crypt Raider is kind of cool. Find secret doors, dark knowledge. They know how to speak Latin, which in this game makes sense. But this is when we get into the crazy stuff. Dwarf mechanic. Mechanic is an insulting dwarf euphemism, implying someone who understands machinery but lacks the skill to create it. I love that they brought back that old, like, first edition flair where races are classes, which is kind of fun. Like, it's just a throwback. And if the idea that a dwarf as a class is offensive to you, probably not the game. This is not. This is not the game for you. But it's, I mean, they brought infravision back in here. This is a throwback to like an old school style gaming. But look at the art. I want to play a dwarf. Trap busters. Look at all the ink on this guy. I think that the idea of a dwarf saying mechanics are insulting because they do more than that is fun. We have an elf trickster, a half-orc slayer, a halfling rogue. This could work too. They get a D10 hit points. I think half-orc slayer might be a good run as well. Let's check that out. Half-orc slayer. Okay. That's another one. There's a chance it may work for us. Do we have anything else after this? And they're cool. They get cunning, robust, infravision. Hit points are D10. Mistrusted, non-citizens. Weapon training is really good. They're trained in the use of battle axe, club, crossbow, dart, dagger, flail, hand axe, javelin, longsword, shortboard, sling, spear, and two-handed sword. After that, it's tables for the things that you get. So looking at what we have as options, I'm going to slide this over. Do we want brawler or half-orc? Do we want to be a hand-to-hand combat person who throws down? Or do we want to be a half-orc slayer that goes in and gets the job done at first level? I'm kind of leaning towards half-orc slayer. What do you all think? I think half-orc slayer is a good pick. Audience, which of the two do you want? Put a B for brawler, put an O for orc. Which one would we like to make today on this show? All right. All right, paused it. What does the audience want to make? What do you guys want more? Brawler or half-orc? I'm kind of with Kyle on this. I think this half-orc slayer sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. So I paused the stream, the recording, so you guys know. I love the idea of this being a character we use when we do our, I really want to do a Halloween Xcrawl special. Also, the bottom of my hat signed by Danny, which makes me happy. I also really want to make this to where you all get to come play and survive for prizes. I think it'd be fun. Maybe I'm going to see if DCC can give a couple books, whoever makes the furthest has a chance to get it, so on and so forth. They can pick up a Streamloot pack to make their life easier when they're in there, which gives them like bonuses to dice or something. But I'm leaning towards the half-orc. Kyle and Serving Hands are saying half-orc. Bleak, what are you saying? Bleak, Star Drew, what do you all want? What do you all want? I'm leaning towards a half-orc. 3, 2, 1. We're doing a half-orc. I'll just trim this piece. So, audience is saying half-orc. So let's go back to our character sheet. We're going to fill this out. I need a D10 for our hit points. We're level 1. We need to find out if hit points start maxed. So let's see how well they built this game to build characters. Like, is it a walkthrough? Does it explain it? Are we doing the extra mile? Is it us hunting things down? Because right now, I don't feel like it is, but I want to make sure. I'm going to zoom this out for you all. Too far. That's good. Again, I apologize for lighting. Let me turn this up. I'm so bright now because of that. We're not doing a funnel. The funky dice, they do call the funky dice, I think it's Zoki, which I'll ask about later. I don't understand why. The dice chain is the scale. I think this should be at the bottom of every character sheet. For those who can't see this, this here does the D3 to the D30. I feel like this should be on the bottom of every single character sheet down here. Should just be it, like THACO used to be in 2nd edition. I don't know if that's something they don't put there on purpose. Is it on the side? Oh, look at this, everybody. They put it to where you put your character sheet down and you put your dice here. Okay. Thank you, Goodman Games, for understanding that educating your average player is super, super important. Smart play. Thank you. So let's do this. I'm gonna go up here. Someone wants to roll me a D10 for hit points. I see ability scores. I see luck. I do not see anything for hit points. All right, level 0. We were at level 1. So we got to roll this with a D24. And then we're going to roll occupation, starting equipment, and weapon. And this is pretty quick. I don't think you start with max. I don't see our starting hit point. I see our saves. Maybe it's under the class that every character it says, or every class it says. I don't see choosing class. First level, you choose a class. Obviously, the character will have an easier time choosing a class that makes the most of their strength. Dwarves and half-orc only have 2 choices. They can either advance in their species class or as their corresponding specialist subtype. See specialist on page 39. Gnomes up as gnomes, half-elves level up as half-elves. Okay. So they went old school class. Hit points. Here we go. We got it. We got it right here. I found it. Each class uses a certain die to determine hit points. Note that all characters receive a D4 hit points at 0 level, and their class hit dice points are in addition to the D4 hit points from 0. For example, an athlete has a D12 hit points per level, so a level... Okay, so we also need a D4. So we need a D4 as well. D4 as well. So that means, looking at this, our sheet. Right now, we know we are a class... Half-Orc Slayer. Right? We know we are level 1. We know we are at 0 hit points. We know we're a half-orc. Right? We know that it's EFP. And then we know that it is going to be... Our stats are done. And we need our hit points. So our hit points are fame, body saves, armor class hit points. So what is our hit die again? Let's go back to the class. Looking at it now. Need a D4 from the chat. Everybody. I see. We're doing Slayer. We are a D10. So we're going to put D10. Someone put 7 so far. 7. And then whatever our D4 gives us adds to this. So someone can roll that. We're going to go back to our birth augur right now. We're going to roll our birth augur. So our birth augur's here. It's a D24. It's not this one. I think it's this one. Is this 24? Yep. All right. I'm going to roll it against the book and hope it stops. What do you say, 22? Looks like a 22. We were born in late November. Where do we put our birth augur? Is there a spot here? Spells, notes, allies, and organizations. Because on this one, I didn't see a spot. They just kind of put it here. So in character details. So first off, let's make sure this is scrolling. Page display. Enable scrolling. Let's do it here. We're going to put birth. Augur. We got a 22. That's late November. Let me take this off. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Late November. Late Nov. We're going to roll again. Four. Late November. Guided by Minerva. And then we got to roll our modify. Three. That's what it was when it stopped. Personality-based skill check. Apparently we're trying to inspire people, but we're not the best at it. So we get personality-based skill checks. Not the best. Not the best. We're not the best at it. What do we get? A 3. So let's scroll back up. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10. And I think our stamina adds to this. We have a 17. So we have this. Let's look at our stat table. I think it's up front. Where's our stat table? Our ability scores. What is the bonuses? Here we go. Slide this over so you guys can all see it. I'm going to do this. It's our ability score, right? So you can see our numbers. You can see that they have a modifier, arcane, which doesn't matter, max spell, which also doesn't matter for us. We just need this line here. So I'm going to go back over to our character sheet. I'm going to remove our arcane, and we're going to talk about our modifier. So a 13 is a +1. And 8, I think 8s are -1. So they are -1. Oop, not 4, dummy. -1. -1. And I'm checking this because you never know when a company will change what stats do. 17's a +2. So yeah, that's already different. Just correct me if I'm wrong. In D&D is 17's +3, right? I think it is. And a 4 is -2. Not a ranged combatant, everybody. You're not a ranged combatant. So those go together. Our saving throws we will add. And it says for saving throws, let me move the camera for you all. Zoom out. Saving throws, Xcrawl Classics, 3 saving throws, Fortitude, Reflex, and Willpower. To make a saving throw, a character rolls a d20 as their modifiers and compares them the result to the target number of the difficulty class DC. If the result is equal to or greater than the DC, save is made. Fortitude represents a resistance to extraordinary physical threats such as poison. So stamina adds to fortitude. Stamina adds to fortitude. So our stamina is good. It's +2. So our fortitude, I'm going to say we got a +2. I'm just going to put this here. I think the classes give you something as well. I'm going to assume they say reflex is going to be agility. Resistance to extraordinary things, blah, blah, blah. Dodging pass. Agility modifies. We ain't dodging shit. We got a -1 to agility. And then willpower, I'm guessing, is persuasion. Personality. Personality is a fucking 2. So we're at a -2 base. So we got those done. We have our birth augur done. Now we do the next thing, We're not 0 level, right? None of this matters. We have a D4 crit die. So if you look here, they have combat and they have crit die. I'm just going to put a D4 here. So I'm guessing our class is going to rank it up for us. We move on. We roll our occupation now. Occupation is a D100. So if the audience can give me a D100, while you guys are rolling that, I'm going to put chaos for our alignment. So I feel like that's fair. I feel like this gentleman is chaotic. So if we can get a D100 in the chat, we'll look up their occupation, because they give you bonuses, and we'll go from there. While we're looking up occupation, Half-Orcs says, Half-Orcs advances Half-Orcs, page 61, or Specialist Half-Orcs, page 47. So I'm going to look at 61 here while we're getting percentiles in the chat. We'll see what we get. Our 61 is Half-Orc. There's a race version of Half-Orc. Hey, it's right where the fucking bookmark is. Check this out. It's right where the bookmark is. Our bookmark has Half-Orc in general here. It has everything here. So our Half-Orc, it talks about who they are. We get a whole page, actually, of everything on them, right? I'm gonna move this golden ribbon. You know what? I just want to point this out. Do you know what D&D 2024 glue bound spine doesn't have? There's no ribbon in 2024. Because, you know, too expensive for their clown shoes. I mean that, by the way. Come on, guys. Add a ribbon. Be adults. So, hit points are done. Looks like there's just Half-Orc class. Can we just be a Half-Orc in this game? Wow, okay. There's some fun stuff here. There's an entire just Half-Orc as a class. Look at this shit. Wild. It looks like our audience rolled an 80. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle got us a 80 for our lovely occupation roll. So let's scroll through here. 80. Our Orc Slayer was a parking lot valet. A parking lot valet. Not gonna lie, kind of dope. Let's go back to here. Occupation. We got a parking valet. Oh no, I lost a die. Ooh, they do glow though. They do glow. Stop rolling. Parking valet. With parking valet, it gives us adventuring pack, A, and 30 gold. So let's go down here. Let's do adventuring pack A. Right? Pack A. I don't disagree, Kyle. I love it as well. As a matter of fact,
I love it.
seems right. Seems right.
No way.
So stupid. It's so, I fucking love this soundboard. Anyway, Venture Pack A. We'll look up what that is. And then, is there a place for money? Is there a money area? Treasure. We'll say 30, what was it? 80 was 30 gold. 30 GP. Pretty simple. I know it's cutting it off. Apologize. Let me do this. We're going to organize pages. We are going to insert a blank page. Boom. Close. Because now I can scroll and you can see 30 gold. Let's save him, by the way. Let's do a quick save. Well, we're going to do our XCC. And we're going to say he is a Half-Orc Slayer level 1. Save. Just because it doesn't crash. All right, so we've got this. There's some crazy ones in here. There's like seamen in here. Check this out. So here's some... I love occupation tables. I don't talk about this too much but occupation tables make me feel like it sparks interest for players to make things outside the norm. And the fact that this is fantasy merged with kind of like a modernism to it, you really get to kind of make whatever the fuck you want. But on here, there's like hunter, house staff, halfling gardener. There is a farmer poultry. There is a half-elf adventurer, a tutor, a veterinary assistant. Like, there's a lot of just random shit that makes you think outside the box and make a different character. I believe if I flip back here, we'll be able to see our starting equipment. So let's go back and take a look at that. So we know we got Adventure Pack A, starting equipment, 0 level, Chapter 3. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of curious on what that looks like. What does a adventuring pack look like? So let's find Chapter 3. Is there any indicators? There's 2. So the big black pages. 6. Probably gonna dart these. For those who don't know, when I do my books and play in these, so I have this. Get these cheap on Amazon. I think they're linked from my affiliate store. I'll put them in the down below. They're flat darts. I love these. And honestly, this is what I do. I start them, like if I go back to Chapter 1 here, I'll put this here to block so I can come back to it easily. But I usually do this. I'll go in here and I'll dart my whole book. I won't do it on screen, but I'll go to Chapter 1, which is characters, and I'll mark chapters. I like mine to where wherever I'm going to flip to shows the dart. I know I'm being picky. And I do this. So this is your dart. This is a little metal piece, right? See it? And I'll go through and dart my entire book this way. Because then, for example, when it's closed, when I flip, it automatically falls to those metal spots, making it easier to find it. I know it's extra. Makes my life easier. I also like them because the tin fits together. I know it's stupid, but they're super cool. I have a, like I said, I'll put a link down below for those who are watching this in the recording. Equipment. We want to know what A gets us. So when we're looking at this, we got currency names and rates. I'm not too worried about this for right now. That's a GM problem. But basically, NAE is 1 gold equals 10 silver, and 1 silver equals 10 copper. It's a 10 multiplier. But where's the packages? Where's our gear kits by type? Here. Here's our A. So let's zoom in on this for you all. Let's find it. There we go. Oop, wrong thing. Let's try one more time. There we go. So you can see what these are. Pack A gives us an armored jacket, a backpack, 20-foot of rope, a sport bottle, you know, like this with a sippy on it, a ration bar, a flashlight, PC starting weapon of choice, right? So let's go back here. We have our gear, signature moves and backstory. I put that there. We don't have spells, no treasure, no allies, no notes. So let's go up here. Our equipment is backpack A. I'm going to write this in just so I know what it is. And we're going to... So armored jacket. And we can delete stuff as we need it to make space. Backpack. 20 foot of rope. Sports bottle. Ration bar. Flashlight. PC's starting weapon of choice. Oops, that's not a ration bar. Done. Why didn't it? No, not arson. We don't want arson bars. We don't want bars we put in our mouth in terms of fire. What's up, Star Drew? Welcome. We're going through making our Xcrawl character. We pre-rolled our stats and we're going to get through this. I'm recording right now. For those who are watching live, great. For those that are watching the recording, we do live shows. If you don't know, they're all the time. Follow me on Twitter or wherever you want to follow me. So we know what those are. So let's go back. We need to get our class stuff down. So let's turn this back on and zoom back out here. And let's get our class stuff. So we went with Half-Orc Slayer. So let's scroll back here. Half-Orc Slayer, D10. So Half-Orc. Obviously, only 0-level Half-Orcs can train to be Half-Orc Slayers. Half-Orc Slayers have 30-foot infravision. So where do we want to put infravision? Not languages, not weapons. Special abilities? Let's do that. 30, infravision. Infravision means you see in red and black, which is kind of cool. It's like that old scanner. Wasn't Game Boy. What was the old Nintendo one you put on? It wasn't Game Boy. What was that called? Where you saw red and black. Someone will know it in chat. But that's kind of what infravision's like in my brain. We are robust. Half-Orc Slayers are hardy. And they make saving throws against disease and poisons at +1 die. So we're going to go over here. We know it's under fort. I'm going to say +1. D +1. Right? And then down here, I'm just going to comma it out. We're going to put robust +1 die versus disease and poison. Poison. Done. Virtual Boy. Yes. That's what I'm looking for. Virtual Boy. Red Eye Games. Virtual Boy. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. Could not remember. We all knew what I was talking about. Power glove it up. So we have this kind of easy kind of setup. Mistrusted. We should probably add that into our Orc Slayer as well. So let's go. We have infravision. Infravision. It should be a V. It's hard to type underneath this. We're going to also do mistrusted. Like all half-orcs in NAE, which is North American Empire, Slayers are considered dangerous outsiders by most citizens. See the half-orc entry for specifics and how this affects their lives. So I was looking up half-orcs. Half-orcs are back here in their own section of the book. I kind of want to see how this works just for us. Ooh, we get some cool shit. What? I know, I'm reading ahead of the group. I apologize. Half-elf. Half-orc. Half-orc. Mistrusted. Half-orcs considered mistrusted. We read all that earlier. Zura consider them to be traitors. In social situations, out in the real world, half-orcs take a -1d penalty on any skill checks rolled by personality. Our personality is an 8. Our 4, it's already at -2 steps. Not the best. Again, for those who don't remember, when you're doing steps, it is die type. So we're going to take the easy example. If we were a D6 and we are -2, we would take D6, D4, right? We'd step down to D4. And then because we suck so bad, we would go down to a D3. So these go away, and we're at a D3. Not great. Not great. We have a D3 penalty to what we're doing. We're probably rolling a D20 minus a D3. So if we rolled those together in our game, and I rolled these a D3 minus, well, I rolled a 1. Fucking, I'm in -2. It did not go well. It's bad. But there are many exceptions to this rule, including grandstanding, dealing with other half-orcs, dealing with Xcrawl professionals, including agents, event staff, and referees. While in the city of Reno, which has become extremely used to seeing half-orcs, there's no penalty. So places where they're accepted and liked for what they do, that penalty goes away. It's more like big money, big prizes, less like I hate you. which is a good thing for half-orcs. Pretty simple. Nothing difficult about that. Let's go back. We know half-orcs speak English and Orcish. So let's fill this out. English Orcish. And that comes from the page 62 for languages for them. It does say if their intelligence allows them to learn additional language, one of them may be dim tongue, the simple trade tongue most denizens of Azura speak. Well, our intelligence is garbage, so that's not fucking happening. After that, let's go. I'm gonna mark this with a bookmark because I feel like we're coming back to this page a lot. I'm gonna turn this back on. You can see that we have a half-orc table here. We're gonna go back to the Slayer. After that, non-citizens. We're gonna put this here. I think it's special. Mistrusted. I'm just gonna put -1D in special situations. Putting this in the character sheet you can't see right now. And then I'm going to tell myself to reference page 62. If you don't put page numbers in your character sheets, you're doing yourself a disservice. It makes your life easier. You don't have to be perfect about it. Don't put the space. Honestly, just put page in the number and you're fucking fine. Like, legitimately, you should do that if you're going to reference stuff because you're going to open a book back up. So that's non-citizens. I'm going to put that next. It's going to be non-citizens. We know they have weapon training. Half-orc slayers are trained in the use of battle axe club and all the things I read before. So weapons, I'm just going to put the line of these here because I feel like it's important that we're trained. And we're going to put all of these. Because why wouldn't we? So it's battle axe. Get rid of this. Battle axe. Club. Crossbow. Dagger. Dart. Flail. Hand axe. You're a type and you just know the feeling's wrong. Javelin. Longsword, short bow, sling, spear. And I'm going to do an ampersand because I like to save space. And 2H. I'm just going to do this sword. Learn this from abbreviating a lot of other stuff. So that's all of our weapons. Done. Down here, we're going to put, we have cunning. Cunning. Slayers expect the unexpected at all times. And their tuned up nerves... where's it at here? The turned up nerves often make them the difference between life and death. Half-orc slayers gain a bonus on their initiative checks equal to the reflex save. We don't have a good reflex save. That's sad. I'm just gonna put int inish cunning inish. Is that what it was? Initiative? REF bonus. So I'll put REF bonus to niche. And we don't get that because we suck. We also get backstab. That I'm excited about. On a successful backstab, the half-orc slayers rolls on crit table 3. T3. Their base weapon damage is increased by +1 die. Base weapon. +1D. That's kind of cool. Our weapon goes up by 1. In addition, if they spend luck on damage, their luck die increases. If luck is spent, luck on damage also +1D, right? +1D on the chain. So wait, if we were like a D8, we go to D10 to a D12. Ooh, doggy. For example, a 3rd level Slayer with a luck of D5 can spend 2 luck points for damage, causing additional 2d6 points of damage. Half-orc Slayers can always backstab prone targets, even targets that can see the Slayer. We should put this in parentheses. All right, and I'll put it in this brackets. Always BS all prone, because it is bullshit. It is bullshit that we can stab all prone people as a half-orc Slayer. I'm fine with it. It looks great. I think it's fantastic. Half-orc Slayers comes backstab, and then we have Mojo. That's the other thing we got to add. Up here, you'll see that there is a stat for or a block for Mojo. Mojo goes here. It says half-orc Slayers gain a Mojo point for every creature they slay, they single-handedly kill. So I'm going to put down here, +1 Mojo, +1 Mojo, solo kills. I'll just put solo kills. We're a murderer. Right? Yeah, let's go. That's all of our stuff. We're done with our race/class. We need our stats. And notice there's no stats here for the half-orc Slayer because we started at level 0. But if we go into here, we have our half-orc Slayer. Our half-orc Slayer has all of our stats. We're level 1, so we're going to add these in. I think under weapon and speed and all that kind of stuff, we need to write down what we do well. So let me go back here. I don't see speed. So let me go back. Is it back here somewhere? Commando, criminal. The specialist, what gets this? We're a showstopper. That's right, Raven. That is right. We're a fucking showstopper. Under specialist, so what I'm trying to find right now is where all of our stats come from, because most stats come from a table in this game. And I think all specialists come from here. So this is the specialist here. And I feel like this is our numbers. And then I think this is the specialist style for our special abilities under skill. Do we have an area for skills? I see spells. And I think this is where the character sheets differ. I'm going to save this. No, cancel. I'm going to save this. And you'll notice when we go to this, there is an area for skills here. But there's not one here. And this is a difference in the character sheets. We're waiting for the new character sheet to come out. But since we don't have spells, I'm just going to put skills here. Right? Because we're not using it. So here, I'm going to put backstab. Let's turn this off. Backstab is a +3. Right? The next thing we have is sneak silently. There's an asterisk by this. I don't know why. We're going to have to find an asterisk. The specialist agility modifier, if any, also modifies these skill checks. Ooh, and our agility sucks. So we're not the stealthy assassin. Maybe there's something that increases our stats later on. But we're +1 step. And remember, these are not +1 to the roll. They're again, the +1 step dice. Is everything in this game, as far as I can tell, are those things. So we got hide in shadows. Our hide in shadows, again, same penalty, or same thing, an asterisk. We just know what that is now. +1. We have climb surfaces. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Climb surfaces. Sheer surfaces. Oh, it's different. Also modified by agility. We are +1. We have handle poison. We are really assassin, aren't we? We're an assassin. And a poison's +3 because we're kind of immune, not immune, very resistant to it. And our fort save is a +1, which we can go up here, go to here, fort save, +2, plus this, and then I'm gonna put another +1. I don't even think we need dice. I'm just gonna get rid of this. That's a fucking 4-step bonuses to 4. That's huge. And if we go back here, and we're doing the most complex class I've seen short of Magic, which is okay. So we have this here. I'm gonna zoom in for you all so you can kind of see this. You'll see this is the specialist by itself. So we have an attack of 0, a crit die and table, the table we roll on. The crit die bonus is it's a D8 that we roll, I think, on that table. Because if we go, we find crits. I wish they put a page number. I do. Hold on. Mojo. Choking. So critical hits. These are the tables. This is table 2. This is our table 2. And my understanding is when you roll on a crit table, you are only rolling the D8 for the crit table. That's my understanding. Sounds like we're... I mean, look. Maybe. Sometimes Blade gets a comeback. If you know, you know. Maybe that is true. Maybe Blade got a comeback. But so a D8 is what we roll. And it says here, it says that strikes that fail to hit do not occur critical hits. For example, a half-orc with a crit range of 19 and 20 with a reckless attack rolls a 19 against a foe is a 23. If the half-orc's D die rolls a 1 and he has a +2 for the strength, the total attack roll is a 22, less the opponent's AC. So when does it tell you what you roll? Crit dice and table determined by class and level refer to the character's class tables. All 0 level characters roll a d4 on crit table 1, so only have up to striking a foe's kneecap. But on a d8, we get all the way up to strike cuts a line across a foe's face. They are blinded by blood for d4 rounds. So this is that kind of like Dungeon Crawl Classics part that I understand where you got a better chance to do crazy shit as you go along. If we go back to here, we go back to our table. Eventually, our crit die gets up to a D30 at level 10. Where my thumb is here. And our action dice is a D20 plus a D20, which is kind of like having advantage, right? Or similar too. So let's move this over. Wrong way. And we're going to put this information on our sheet. So let's turn this off and fill it out. And I think this is kind of the end of our character creation. This is the last part. So for me, if we look at the table here, it tells you, so we have 10 hit points. In stamina, we did not look this up. We should probably clarify this for 0 level to 1st level hit points. If it's your stat or if it is your bonus that gets added to your hit points. I'm guessing it's probably just a bonus. But let's make sure. Modified by stamina. Alignment. Starting gear. Ooh. I don't see it. If anyone knows, and they play Dungeon Crawl Classics, let me know. Does stamina, does the whole stat add to your hit points like some games? Or is it just the bonus? Or do we roll the dice of that bonus? I would like to know how it adds. Character earns a minimum of 1 hit point per character level, regardless of the stamina. Character stamina of 5 or less automatically take double damage from all poisons, which we don't. Can't be double. It's just got to add on. Anyone know offhand? This is a learn together moment for those who are watching this. I think it's just a +2 per level. That's what it's looking like. Yeah. Action dice are used to make attacks, hit points. Yeah, D4 because of 0 level. Your class die on top of that. plus stamina modifier, if any. It is the modifier. It is the modifier. So we have a total of 12 hit points. Okay? So we're golden there. Now for this. So let's look at our crit. Crit table is 2. They use Roman numerals to differentiate. And we are a D8. Technically, I did this in reverse. It should actually be like this, like this, like that. So we got 2, right? Our action die, which is also here, which is what we rolled to hit, I believe, is a D20. Well, and it does specify 1 because you can get more than 1 in this game. So we got 1 D20 to hit. Our luck die is a D3. You want to see luck die? Initiative speed, current modifier, luck die roll, D3. Our reflex is a +1. So we're at a -1. And I'm just going to put them all so we can add them together to figure out how the game works. +1. We don't need these breaks. I'm just going to do this. I feel like the bonuses don't need commas because you're doing addition. So we'll be at a 0 for this. Our fort is a +1. Wow. Is that right? Another +1. Okay. And our will is 0. All right. So we're currently at a -2 for will. 5 +5 for our fort. And we're at a +0 for our reflex. So whatever we roll on D20 is all we get for these. But we can take poisons and shit. And then our bonus to attack is a 0. Because we're level 1. That's all of the information that is on this table here, which is for specialist. And we took all of our table information here. Because remember, it goes 1 to 10. But this is the information for playing a Slayer. We have our gear. We need to pick our weapon of choice. I think, if I remember correctly, we're done. So let's flip through these. We're not playing just a regular orc. There is half-orc stuff here. I want to know, do we get this stuff? This has got to be if you only play an orc and not the class. So I think we get the specialist and the orc slayer together. This is a really good question for Goodman Games. Goodman Games, if you're watching this, when you're building your character and you're a half-orc slayer, do you also get this half-orc table as well as the half-orc slayer class? I would think they'd be separate because if they're together, that'd be too much. And I'll read it off cam and we'll addendum this as we go through. And then the next chapter is skills. That's it. Xcrawl can't slide with physical ability alone. So skill checks are D20. They talk about your opposed checks. You talk about your knowledge. Talk about grandstanding. Grandstanding is important. It's D20 plus personality modifier plus character level. If we go back to here, you'll see that there's a grandstanding here. Our mojo as well. I don't think our mojo is added up yet. Nothing great. Grandstanding D20. So here is this. What does this say? Persuade personality -2. Any bonus PC level we're 1. And then our score is the -1 for grandstanding. Not a great grandstander. And it's against the DC of something in the arena. A lot of times they can say it's 14 is what they say. Equipment, we need to pick a weapon. We're only good at melee. I don't really want a ranged. I mean, we go battle axe, right? Battle axe has got to be the thing we use when we're in combat. It makes the most sense. I don't want nunchaku. We don't get that. Let's do battle axe. Battle axe is a D fucking 10. That just makes sense to me. Because this is information random, I'm going to put battle axe. And then we're going to put, it is a D10, 1 D10, because we got a chance to do extra damage. The range is null. There's no range. We don't care about the cost. And the Cost, I mean, I'll put cost here just for the sake of it. 20 GP. We get this for free because remember we get our specialized. And then we're going to do special, which is two-handed. Two-handed, characters using two-handed weapons use a D16 on initiative checks and may not wield a second weapon. I'm going to put D16BA just in case, because you're slower. That's kind of that's wild. So you're using a D16. Where's my D16? Is this 16? No. This looks like a D14. This looks like a D20. I see where they have you line them up down the chart because you're going to be fucking trying to find them all the time, right? So this is my D20 here, which is important. And then if I'm fucking doing... Man. Slide this down. That's a D20. Is this D16? See, a 14. That's a 14. What's a D? Oh, this is a D16, right? This is a D24. D24. Is it this one? Ah. D16. More round. So that means instead of rolling this for my initiative, I'd be rolling this. In this case, I did all right. Kind of cool. Very simple. Very clean. No fucking around. You're just grabbing dice. I want, for those who don't know about Xcrawl Classics or Xcrawl, and for someone who does, down in the comments, if you're playing Xcrawl Classics and Xcrawl a lot, how are you tracking your dice? Are you putting them inside a sheet, or do you have like, I'm imagining like a little tray that they all sit in from 30 down to 3. Does anyone know one of those are? If so, comment down below how you track your dice instead of just having a pile of plastic. How are you doing? Because I want one. And then after this, we've done our weapon. I'm not really worried about anything else. We get one free weapon. We're just doing our starting pack. Our starting pack is good. So we're going to go past this. We don't need to look at... I do want to point out that they have like armors and shit like that in here. We do have some money. But we do not start with anything other than... What was our gear? We have an armored jacket. Let's look up armored jacket. Armored. Armored jacket. +1 AC bonus. -1 check penalty. D6 fumble roll. Cost 40. Okay, so fumble roll is a D6. Let's put that in here. D6. I love how they track it all here. The check penalty is -1. So -1 step. -1. And then we get a +1 to our AC. So armor, +1. Our armor is going to suck because we are 10 +1 -1. We're currently at 10. We do not have a shield. Our agility is -1. We don't have. We're just we suck. Armored jacket. We are fit for combat, but not for taking hits. I think we save our money. Fuck it. Going through the book. We're not worried about combat. Let's do a quick flip through here to see if we're missing anything. We're not doing combat. We don't care about that. Again, I would put a dart there. I'm going to go all the way back here. Also, just so you can see the wildness, that's the last page here. Let me zoom out. Look at this shit. Little Squid Gamey action, right? Right? Little squiddies. So we're going to flip through. Move this side. I don't think there's anything else. Adventure in the back. Gear. Thick book. Mostly adventure and gear. So we don't have spells. What I want to do is go back to character creation. We're going to check off our work. And that'll be the end of this recording for this. I agree, Kyle. I agree. So, am I having up here. I had for a long time. I don't have it up here. I had a tray that held D10s, and those D10s you would rotate so it was D100 and you could score your hit points. You know what I mean? You score your hit points. So, let me go back to character creation, and let's make sure we didn't miss anything. I don't think we did. We need a name. The audience has a name. Start giving me names. Introduction. Characters. You're no scrub, baby. Character creation. Dice chain. Okay. Roll ability scores. Let's zoom in on this. Oh, we're getting names in chat. All right. Roll ability scores. Page 13. Done. Roll for your character's occupation. Done. Alignment. Chaotic. Done. Starting weapon. Starting weapon is club, dagger, sling, or spear. We chose a different one because we're not level 0. Purchase equipment. We got a battle axe. Because orc. Decide which actor... Oh, I forgot about this. Todd, you will appreciate this wholeheartedly. In this game, when you make your character, you are to choose an actor that is playing your character in Xcrawl. Like, when you close your eyes, think about your character, you're like, who's playing my half-orc? He's strong, he's semi-strong, he's got high stamina. What character is playing my half-orc? My brain immediately went to Tom Hardy in my brain, because that's fun. And we used to do this for D20 Modern for ages. We would cut out magazine pictures and put them on our character sheets representing who was playing our character. And they brought that into this game. I feel like it's so fun. It really makes you go, oh, this is who my character is. Now you survive your first Xcrawl. Event is 10 XP to level 1. At this point, you choose from them, and we're not spellcasting. That's it. We're done. I see Tazerface. Tazerface. I think we do something like first off, let's turn this off. Does it have a spot for our actor? It doesn't. I'm gonna put our actor here. Actor. This guy's down for Tom Hardy. Anyone got a better idea than Tom Hardy? Tom Hardy's my pick. Actor. I'm going to put Tom Hardy for now. Tom Hardy. So Tom Hardy's playing. So let's go over what we got here. To close out our recorded section. Someone said Tazerface. Fuck it. I'll put that for now. Maybe he's a fan of the old show. Tazerface. Not Taxerface. Tazerface. Tazerface. So Tazerface, he was a parking valet. He's chaotic. He's our character. He's a half-orc slayer. He doesn't have a title yet. We don't know his deity. We're just going to say to be announced and then to be announced because we don't know what they are. He's level 1. He has 0 experience. He has 12 hit points because he's a half-orc. We got a D4 to start. We got a 7 and the 3 plus our 2 for stamina. Technically, actually, this would be 14. So we got it for a 0 level, and we got it for this. I think we're 14. Our armor class is 10. We're only wearing armor jacket. We're not fast. We're kind of slow. Our grandstanding is at a -2, but we'll get better. Our mojo is a 0 to start right now. Our stats are 13, 8, 17, 4, 8, 8. We're not the best, but we are durable. We can take a hit. We have a 0 to our reflex, but we can take a fortitude save like a champion with a +5, a -2 to our will. English and Orcish, because we don't have an intelligence high enough to get anything else. I mean, our fame right now to start is 0. We didn't get anything special for it, so I'm just going to put 0s. We know that our speed, I believe, was 30 foot, if I remember correctly from what it said. We have a D16 for our initiative because we're using a battle axe. If not, it will be a D20. Our action dice is a D20. We have a -1 check penalty because we're wearing armor. Our crit range right now is only a 20. It will go up because of our class. +0 base attack bonus. Are we really that bad? I feel like we had a +1. We'll have to check it later. D6 fumble because of the weapon. We crit on table 2 with a D8. We have a battle axe, which makes us really good at swinging that. Ton of other weapons that we can use. We have infravision. We're robust versus diseases already put in. Mistrusted unless it's the right situation. You know, WWE life. Gotta have that, right? WWE. It's the only way we do it. Or AEW, whatever your favorite wrestling style is. We are gladiatorial at the heart. We get a backstab, which lets us do extra damage. We are cunning, which are reflex bonus to initiative as well. So we're going to get that -0, just a 0. If someone's prone, we do extra damage when we're backstabbing. Our crit goes to a tier 3 weapon base instead. +1 die on luck damage if we use it. If we chain it, we can get extra damage from that. +1 mojo to solo kills, so we'll get extra mojo, which lets us increase our chain, as they call it, through all the dice. That's our special abilities. We have equipment adventuring pack with armor, backpack, 20-foot of rope, sports bottle, ration bar, flashlight, PC starting weapon of choice, battle axe. And then after that, we are an augur of late November, guided by Minerva, with personality-based skill checks. We just ain't that good at it. We got a -3 to our backstab, a +1 to move sneak silently, hide in shadows, climb sheer surfaces. Unfortunately, we get our armor check penalty to that, which is a wash. We handle poison like a pro with a +3. And we have fortitude save of +1. This is our character sheet. It's clean, 30 gold, minus the 20 for our battle axe, puts us at 10. This is how you make a character. I think I could sit down and make this character in about 15 minutes knowing how it works. I'm excited to run more of this. For those of you who are interested in Xcrawl and you want the Xcrawl Classics version that's released at Gen Con, will be out by the end of the month. Down below I have the Goodman Games link. There's no affiliate or nothing, but pick it up when it comes out. Get your base version. Get this fucking special edition for $10 more if you can. I got it at Gen Con, and I gotta say, I feel like this is going to be a riot. We'll do a test combat session as well, live on cam, probably this weekend. But tomorrow I will be back with Shadowdark for our Solo Dark campaign. If you're here for the live, so stick around. We're going to talk about a little bit more. But if you're watching the recording later on, here and here, click this shit. We're trying to hit a 500, so we can do some fun things with all of the YouTubes. And I got a lot of spicy stuff coming for you. If you missed all the Wizards of the Coast drama that I lit on fire and threw like a Molotov cocktail into the window of well, you know, the Wizards of the Coast headquarters, I didn't. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Wizards, don't copyright strike me. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the video. And for the rest of you, stick around. So for the rest of you, we're going to do a couple other things. I love this game. I think it's really well made. I do want to look at some of the combat things really quick here before we close out the show today. We are going to do Solo Dark tomorrow. It's probably going to be around 5 p.m. We're going to go back with our dungeon chef. We're going to see how long we can survive. Bingo! Because we need that. And I feel like we deserve some Solo Dark. Pick up your sub, your lovely Streamloot cards, and then I want to remind everybody, if you haven't done this yet, you need to go to our homepage and then pick up this. Pick up your secret shirt. There's male and female versions, cut-wise. Pick this up before it's gone, because I am discontinuing this and putting out a new one. So we have too many new shows. You can say it's a secret. The back has a little fucking QR code. Pick up yours before they're gone. They're really comfy. There's also, I made myself a tank top one for the summer, but pick this up before it's gone and get yourself a secret shirt. We're going to be making one for, I think, Breachers, and I'm doing one with moths on it for ETHUANTIA. And then we have our beer koozies coming out, which I'm in the middle of designing right now. Oh, I'm sorry. It didn't pop. Ah, the PDF covers it. I didn't realize PDF covered it. I'll go back through them. Secret. Get it while you can. This is the male version. Thank you, Serving Hands, for letting me know. That's the male version. And the female version, that's a unisex version. And then there's a female cut, a women's cut as well. A women's cut as well. Pick those up after our shows for like 20 to 30 minutes. We shoot the shit afterwards. We'll be there after Breachers this Monday for episode 3, which I'm excited to get back into. Our solo dark stuff will be kind of leading up to that as well. I'm going to turn these lights down now because I'm tired of glowing. You guys don't need to see the book anymore. Back to our normal ambiance to make me feel like a normal fucking human. And then I don't know, man. I'm excited for this. I think this is great. They have the full like Xcrawl world in here, and this is a big book. I didn't say this during the show, but it is, with the 2 adventures, 388 pages. So anyway, let's put these away. That's your secret shirt. If you don't have one, get one. There is some fun stickers and stuff like that as well for the secret time. But I wanted to put that out before I move them off, because I only get to have so many active pieces on this website that I'm using. When I move over to the new one, I can reactivate them in the future. But for now, these are the ones you want. If you want to be part of our secret show. Those who don't know, I'm working on some super secret projects coming up. I had to take these down because I don't think he's making them anymore. I didn't even think about that. I gotta take all those down. That's sad. I fucking love these. I got something to replace these coming out. Okay? Something coming out to replace these. I'm working on it right now. Can't say much because we're in the beginning prototype type stages, but I'm working on a custom dice holder. It's not a bag. It's not a box. It's something else. I can't say what it is. I know the sad, if you got him, you got him. If you don't, you don't. Maybe I can convince him to do something. I don't think Riddles is doing it anymore, so I'll take these down tonight. I absolutely forgot they were still up. Not available. But these are our character. We got our Orc Slayer. I want to kind of look at combat with him this week. I want to see how combat works. I'm hoping to get a PDF to make it easier to show off the book. It's really hard to do with this fucking camera. Difficult, right? Difficult. I know the dice sets are done. Those aren't even orderable anymore. They're discontinued. I do have other dice coming out. That is a thing in the future, but we're a little ways off from that. What do we got for music here? Still playing? We're still playing. But that's pretty much it for me. Anything else I can answer for anyone before I close for the day? Close our live show? This is just, I wanted to do a character creation so I can edit this down and put it out for people and cut all the ims, ums, and buts out. And I'll put this out for an Xcrawl character creation and really chop it down to what we do. People can come back and watch a live show if they want to know how it works. Oh! Wizards of the Coast drama. I did put that there's a little drama. So, a bunch of the people who had their sites striked, some people have not gotten their strikes back yet, is my understanding. But that's not my drama. Could you imagine if D&D did their whole back catalog into PDFs to make everyone happy? But could you imagine even more so if all of your D&D Beyond stuff carried over to 2024? I can imagine it. We ain't gonna get it though, man. I think you're gonna have to repay for all your old D&D stuff. I don't think it's gonna get converted or updated or given to you or anything, which is super fucking sad. Like, legitimately sad. But my drama is, if you guys all missed it, there's a lot of people saying they're going to cover some D&D for a while. Some of the content creators. Just kind of like, not putting like a line in the sand, but like, they got boned and it's too dangerous for the channel to cover it. I, on the other hand, will be covering it, and the only way I know how. Fine. We're going to be covering it as soon as the book releases, and I'm going to be cutting it apart and comparing it to all the other games I play right now, the quality that's made. Because my point is to prove Wizards of the Coast is pulling the wool over our eyes. Not conspiracy theorists, none of that shit, but just factual statements. So we'll be going over that stuff. I just went over the DCC we'll play. And then we're also going to do an outgun character next week. We're going to make an outgun character as well to kind of go over what that is. And then I think that's it. Solo Dark tomorrow. Breachers Monday. ETHUANTIA Tuesday. And then Saturday I'll be editing and doing some stuff. But if the desire is big enough, maybe we'll do some DCC How Does It Work sessions. That's it for me, everybody. I'm going to go get some food because I'm fucking starving. I was up working and solving some client problems all day today. This is a quick show just for the fun of it. I wanted you guys to see the book and the art and how you make a character. I'm going to take this character, touch him up here as soon as I close stream, and I'll put him over in our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, join. For the rest of you who are watching the full live stream, thank you for being here. I love interactive environments for doing live shows. You know the routines. Click the things on each side of me. Click that subscribe with a fury of 1,000 suns, burning the Wizards of the Coast to the ground until they learn their lessons. Like flying too close to the sun. I really want Wizards to learn they have something amazing and they're pissing off their community. We all know that are here. Those who are watching it, if you disagree with me, I am truly a D&D fan. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I just don't like the paprika covered cafeteria food they've been serving me for the last 5 years. That's it for me. Have a great night, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow at I'll say 6 p.m. for a little more fun with Solo Dark. Night, everybody.